So welcome everyone. So today's session is on compulsive eating. Either we eat compulsively or we know someone who eats compulsively. So this is what we're going to talk about today. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so compulsive eating. What exactly is compulsive eating? So I'm just going to refer to the book by Master Chokok Sui called Pranic Psychotherapy. I'm just going to read a few lines from it. So what Master says here basically is that compulsion is something where a person has an illogical, repetitive, impulsive, or urges to do certain acts which, if resisted, produce anxiety. So, what are we saying? We are basically saying that when somebody has a compulsive eating problem, it basically means that they are eating and it's illogical. So, you may know people who will, just finish their lunch or their dinner, and then if you offer like something else, they will eat that as well. And in fact, after finishing their meal, after 15 minutes, they may say, "Oh, I'm really hungry again." Okay. So, this is something that is actually a type of energy, and this type of energy is a fear energy. So what kind of fear is this is the fear of being insecure. This is the way it's like the body's response to secure itself, right? So all of us want love and security. So eating food is a way of helping us feel secure. So if you know someone who is on a binge eating or someone who is constantly wanting to eat a lot, we do need to kind of explore with them as to whether they have any childhood memories. So I know one person who has a normal appetite, but if you put their favorite food in front of them, which happens to be like a bada of certain type, like kanji vada type. So they will eat like, a whole like 15, 20, 30, 40. Now I know that there are, food eating competitions. That's not what we are talking about. We are talking about people who can't control themselves when a certain item is placed in front. Sometimes that comes from childhood where maybe this person was kind of not given as much as they wanted. So suppose I wanted two vadas, and as a child for some reason, either it was over or it wasn't good or whatever, suppose my parent didn't give it to me, or wherever I was. So what that does is that it creates a certain kind of desire, and then when we see that item again in later in life, we just want to like get as much as possible. Yeah. So that's one. Of course, compulsive eating also stems from fear. So I used to be the kind of person who would would finish my lunch, and then I would, after 15 minutes, I'd be like, okay, I'm hungry. I need like chocolate biscuit or I need something else. So that was one way that I dealt with it. Of course, now I don't do that anymore. All that is healed with pranic healing. The other thing that also happens with people is that they tend to, so if you know someone who drinks very, very, very hot liquid, like if they're having tea, it has to be very hot, like boiling hot. That also is a sort of compulsion where they are basically trying to, and I think I read this somewhere, it's like they're trying to pour hot water on their emotions. So they're having some emotional issues, and what they're trying to do is that by drinking hot water, they're trying to kind of, uh, what should I say, like satisfy themselves, make themselves kind of feel warm on the inside. Okay, so compulsive eating is something which is illogical, it is repetitive, and it is to do certain acts, right? So these are the acts that we are talking about. Now, what do we do about that? Obviously, we have pranic healing. People who have done up to pranic psychotherapy, there is a portion in the book under treatment for phobias and traumas, where you can find the way to heal somebody of compulsive eating. So if you have it, then you can open up your book and you can read it. And if you haven't done pranic healing yet, then you can start with self pranic healing, which is being offered online. Okay. One more solution that we are offering over here on this forum actually comes from, okay, one second. So we have something called vibrational numbers, and these vibrational numbers have been shared with me by Dr. Sagar Dutt, who is a practicing homeopath, and he also practices vibrational numbers. So I'm just going to put that up. One second. So this is about, again, compulsive eating. So today, of course, we'll be doing healing for those of us who are present here in the live session. We will be doing healing for compulsive eating. We just thought we'll take a break from COVID and do something different. Of course, you need to be aware that any kind of healing that happens, it does ultimately strengthen us from the inside. So that's just something to keep in mind. So we are basically sharing this because in Master's books, in the book Existence of God, he talks about how there is something called vibrational medicine. And so therefore we are just sharing this with you. Hopefully it'll help you. Of course, pranic healing is a very great foolproof way. And I can tell you from being someone who used to really eat compulsively, like I would finish breakfast and I would want a second breakfast. And, when my family went on vacation with me, it was actually traumatic for them because I would just finish one meal and I would want another meal. So literally we were like in restaurants rather than, doing anything else on the vacation. So it was difficult for them. Anyway, so the vibrational medicine number is this. It's 92 space 03 space 179. Okay. Again, it's 92 space 03 space 179. You can write it with a blue colored pen on your belly, and or if you don't want it to be below your navel, or you can write it on your arms. Whatever works for you is fine. Okay. So compulsive eating is not the same as enjoying food. Okay. We are not talking about people who enjoy food. We're talking about compulsive eating, which basically is illogical and repetitive. So for example, eating, let's say, I don't know, 15 parathas, for example, like just because it's aloo ka paratha, for example, you end up eating 15 of them. That's compulsive eating. Of course, it doesn't have to be that extreme. We may also notice that we are slowly, getting compulsive about something. Or let's say if you've just had a full meal and somebody offers us this particular item, then we tend to eat. Of course, there are some people who tend to eat to kind of satisfy themselves emotionally. So, since we know that all these kind of fears and traumas ultimately come from a sense of lack of love or from a sense of lack of security, it's important to bless these people, even if it's ourselves, to bless ourselves with a lot of love, and to also remember that compulsive eating is not a form of self-love. It's actually quite destructive, right? Because it puts a lot of pressure on our system. Okay. So today's healing session is going to be on compulsive eating. If you have a particular item that you feel that you're compulsively eating, then you can put that on the chat box. And again, for those of us who are joining later, if you want a live session, if you want pranic healing to be done, then you need to join us on our live session, which is at 4 p.m. on most days, as per the schedule given below in the book. Okay, so I'm just going to check the chat box really quickly if there's any questions. Oh, somebody's asking why we write the numbers. So I'm not an expert on this. This is something that has been shared with me by Dr. Sagar Dutt. The idea basically is that when we write certain numbers, those numbers create a certain vibration in the body. And through that vibration, this fear or this compulsive eating disorder can be curbed. So you may find that you need to do it for, several times or for several months. And gradually, you will feel it making a difference. And again, like we say in Pranic Healing, no need to believe me. You can just try it for yourself. If it works for you, let us know. Great feedback. If it doesn't, let us know also. So we are always open to feedback. And of course, if you support it with pranic healing and you support it with the meditation on twin hearts, which we're going to do, then that will really help. Because when we do the blessing, when we do the meditation on twin hearts, we activate our crown, we activate our heart. We're actually filling ourselves with a lot of love. So you'll find that a lot of the fears begin to go away. Now, in this context, I know some people are writing about how, you have other family members who may be having this issue. So you could combine another pranic healing technique, which is that you're meditating, you can visualize the teacher, which, as you can see in the photograph behind me, that's the teacher. And you can visualize the family member or the person who you wish to heal. So it's kind of like you form a triangle between them, the teacher, and yourself, and you do the meditation. So the idea is that through that link, what we're doing is we're also sending them, special energies. It's like kind of them doing the meditation with us. Okay. But in a way which is hopefully respectful. Okay, so just be aware of that. And what else? Um, why do we write it there and not? Again, I'm not clear on the answer to that, but from my understanding, it's one of the safest places to write it. So writing it on the arm is a very safe place to write it. And if you don't want it to be visible, then it's a good idea to just write it, on your belly below your navel. But I would suggest that you don't write it anywhere else because there are certain special numbers which Dr. Sagar Dutt has shared with me for which he says this has to be written on, this part of the body or that part of the body. So I'm sure there's some logic to it being written on the arm, either of the arms or below the navel. But I think for more information, we'll have to talk to Dr. Sagar. So I will have to ask him, and then I will see if I can get back to you with an answer for that. I don't know it right now. So let's do a short soul affirmation. Sorry about that. So the idea is for us to do the soul affirmation because all of us know that we have a body and this body has requirements. And the idea is to kind of separate ourselves, our emotions, and our thoughts from the soul. So this will help us to overcome this issue. Okay, so let's close our eyes, connect the tongue to the palate, inhale and exhale slowly. Let us do the soul affirmation. I am that I am. I am not the body. I have a body. My body has requirements. My body also has some fears in terms of emotions and thoughts. I am the soul. I am not the body. I am not the emotions. I am the soul. I am a spiritual being of divine intelligence, divine love, and divine power. I am that I am. I am one with the divine spark within me. I am a child of God. I am connected with God. I am one with God, and I am one with all. This is just a way of telling ourselves that yes, we are the soul, we have a body, and the body has some thoughts, these compulsions or fears or whatever it is. And it's okay, we'll do whatever we can to flush them out. Just like we take a bath, we'll just do the meditation on twin hearts and take a spiritual shower, which will help us to just, get rid of these things. Okay? So let's be aware of our crown. Let's be aware of our heart. Let's raise our hands in blessing position. Inhale slowly. Visualize beautiful pink light, golden light coming in through the crown and going out through the hands. Keep your hands like this in blessing position. So today, let's bless ourselves and bless all the people who we want to heal for compulsive eating. Okay, so let's visualize them in front of us. And if we are working on ourselves, then visualize yourself and whoever else you want to work on. Let's project a lot of beautiful pink light, a lot of golden loving energy going to this person or these people, and let us say, you are healed, you are much loved, you are loved. There is enough food in the universe for all of us. You are not the body, you are not the emotions, you are not the thoughts. Maybe there was an experience that causes this compulsive eating. Let it go. Let's replace it with lots of love for ourselves, for all the people who we are working on today for compulsive eating. Inhale, feel the light coming in from the divine, from the supreme God, from the universal supreme being, and flowing out of our hands to everyone who needs this blessing and this energy. Inhale and exhale slowly. Now let's also take a few minutes to bless other things, such as let's bless our financial targets and the financial targets of other people on the group. The reason for this is when we have enough finances and we feel comfortable, then also the insecurity about food becomes less, right? And then we can also budget for items which are actually more nutritious. So, if you look at it, and a mango may cost 100 rupees, but it's more nutritious than a bar of chocolate that's also going to cost 100 rupees, right? So something like that. So let's bless ourselves with the right budgeting, with the right finances. Let's bless ourselves and others with health. Health is really important. Without health, you can't even enjoy life. So let's bless the health of every person in the group, including those who we are working with and ourselves. Relationships. Sometimes relationship issues can also cause compulsive eating. Okay, particularly if someone says, hey, you're fat, or hey, you're too thin, then that can also sometimes create a desire to just eat, and either in form of rebellion or in terms of trying to become healthier by eating a lot. Okay, either way. So let's just bless our relationships. Let's forgive those who may have hurt us, who may be a contributing factor to the compulsive eating. Remember, no one else is the cause. We are ourselves the cause. So we can't blame other people. But yeah, they may have said something. So let's bless them. Let's bless them with love, so much love that that love comes back to us and to our loved ones. Let's also be aware of our spiritual targets, which is I am not the body. And that's the purpose that we are trying to realize, that we are not the body. We are not the emotions. We are not the thought. We are the soul. Let's also bless all people directly or indirectly affected by the COVID-19 virus. Let's bless them with good medical care. Let's bless them with finding the right healer who can help them with their recovery. Let's bless the entire planet Earth with peace, harmony, with divine guidance, divine love, and divine protection. Let's take a few more seconds to bless anything else that is special to us. So I hope that was useful. I hope that we will all have a little less of compulsive eating. And again, if you need to take private sessions, or you need sessions for someone who is, eating compulsively to an extent where they're falling sick, then you can always refer them to us. You can also learn pranic healing, and then you can practice for them. Okay, so we would like to have one pranic healer per family. We also have self pranic healing workshops coming up online, which you can also learn. Okay, so with that, we will end today's session. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you to the healers for healing. And we also have a couple of other videos on help with my cravings and with body sculpting, which you can also look up. These are also on YouTube, where we've shared a couple of other things about this topic. Okay, so with that, we'll end. Thank you so much. Bye.